In this Mosaic training video, I'm going to go through the job notes that is in Mosaic software. As you can see on the upper left, I do have a new job created called Job Notes, and I'm actually in the Job tab of the software. Right below the Edit tab, you have another one called Job Notes. When you select the Job Notes tab, this opens up the Job Notes main menu. As you can see on the right side, you have an option to manage fields. Select the Manage Fields option, and this will open up the editor to manage job notes. Now, in the upper left corner, you can see you do have a green plus sign. When you select that, that'll add an additional field to your job notes that you can customize. You do have the red X, so if a field is highlighted, you can delete that actual field. And you do have a shuffle field up or shuffle field down, so you could reorganize the job notes as they are being added, or if you'd like to tweak them at a later date. Let's go ahead and get started, and let's add some job notes to this actual job, and we'll see how these job note template actually carries over to a new job. I'm going to go ahead and select the green plus sign to add a field type, and a variable name. You can see I can drop the field type down, and we have short text, long text, combo box, and checkbox. We're going to bring in a separate field name and look at all of those examples. The first field, I want to type in installation date. That way that is top, front, and center. And I'm just going to name that one ID, short for installation date. Let me go ahead and add a couple more. The next one, I'm going to type in sales rep. And we'll just type in an SP for sales rep. Next one, how about job engineer? That way we have a job engineer that reviews the actual project. Now, all of these are considered short text for the field type. Let me go ahead and add a couple more. Let's just add this next one, and let's call this one job measured. And I'm going to change this from short text right here to a combo box. Now when you add a combo box, let's select two plus signs, so I have two options. The first option will be yes, the second option will be no. That will be for the job measured. I'm just going to call that variable JM. Let's go ahead and set up another one. Countertops by. Now I'm going to make this a short text, or why don't we make this one a combo box, and let's select two options here, and I'm going to put Mosaic as the contractor or owner as the actual other option, whether I'm supplying the tops or the owner is, either way. And let's type CTB for countertops by. So you can see I've got some short text, a couple combo box. Let's add a couple more here. I'm going to put this one as, how about dishwasher? Let's make this one a long text, and I'm just going to abbreviate DW. Field name, and let's type in range. Another long text here, and we'll just call this RG for range. And let's go ahead and set up one more here. And I'm just going to call this one deposit paid. Now with the deposit paid enter, let's change this one to a checkbox, and I'm going to change the variable to DP for deposit paid. I am going to correct my variable at the top to SR for sales rep. I typed that in wrong. Now, like I said earlier, you could select a field here and use your up arrows, move that up or move it back down, and you can also delete a field if needed. Let's select OK, and now let's look at our job notes page here. So on the installation date, you have an installation date. You could type in a date on that, and I'll just put 7/15/2024. The sales rep will be Bill. The job engineer on this job is going to be Matt. Now, is job measured? I can drop this down and select yes or no. This job has been measured. Countertops by owner. And, on the dishwasher, I could type in the make, model number, supply all that information, the color of the actual dishwasher. Same with the range. Deposit paid is a checkbox right here. So you can see how these job notes work, and you can populate these as you need it. Let's select OK, and let's go into the File, Print, Multi-Print, and let's use a variable in the title block itself. With Multi-Print opened up now, let me go ahead and expand this out. I want to use a variable, and I want to add the sales rep name to my actual title block. So I'm going to right click in an open area of the title block. I'm going to go to Edit Current Title Block. And right below Sheet Title, let's just go ahead and add the sales rep's information. If I select Page Name right here, I can right click on it, edit text alignment and rotation. You see I've got a horizontal alignment, and I am in the middle vertically, and I'm checked Fit for Bounds. So I'm just going to grab a blue arrow and make that a little bit smaller. Now what I can do is I'm just going to highlight the line. I'm going to make a copy of that line by just holding my Control C, and then I'm going to select Control V and paste that line there. And then you can actually use that move tool right there and move that line into position. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and select my select tool next. Now I've got my sheet title, page name. I'm going to make a copy of the sheet title, and let's just go ahead and double click on this, and we're just going to type in sales rep. And OK, that way my sales rep information is entered in there. Use my select tool. Now if I right click on the sales rep and go back to edit text alignment and rotation, I'm going to go ahead and set my horizontal alignment right there. I'm going to keep it at left. Vertical alignment I'm going to bring to the middle, and I'm going to just leave the fit to bounds unchecked. You can see there's my information. Once again, I'm going to select the move tool, and now I can move this sales rep notation around. I'm just going to bring it up to this particular area. So you can see I've got my sales rep added right there. Now, one thing about this, those variables we set up, if you go over here on the left, you have your variables menu. Let me just expand this out a little bit. I'm going to go into the job tab. This is where those variables are pulling from. And look at all of my different variables we've set up there. You see you have ID, SR, JE, JM, CTB, DW, RG, and DP, all of those individuals. We set up the sales rep as SR. I'm going to just drag this in and drop it in this area. Now what I need to do is select my select tool. I accidentally selected the paint bucket, so I'm going to select my select tool and then the job notes. Once that's highlighted, I can then select my move tool and left click and hold my mouse down and move that into position. So there's my job notes right there on my title block. Once I save it and select OK, you see it has my name there on that actual title block. One thing to keep in mind when setting up job notes here, when you're in Manage Field, you cannot have any spaces whatsoever on the variable name. Now, one other thing about it, you can see how this is nicely set up with our job notes. I'm going to go ahead and save this job, and I'm going to create a new job, and I'm going to call this Job Notes Test. That way we can review the job notes in a brand new job. When I select job notes, you can see they populate just how I saved them. So they're automatically added to the basic job template for you. So take some time, set up your job notes, add those in, use the variables in multi-print or on your labels if needed, and create a more professional and organized job for your customer.